Hello, hello. Just getting ready. With you shortly. I'm just pilfering through my box of pipes, which are due to go and get. Morning, Chris. My pipes which are due to get converted to 9mm, and after smoking Virginias for a few months now, with filters, I thought I'd just give it a try and see if I'm any more acclimatized. So I'm gonna smoke this. What's he called? Briarbird? Yeah, Briarbird. Otherwise, he's got Diablo pipes is one of the lines he does. This is the Albatross line, as denoted by the little feather over there. I just did that video of this half and half, and Match has responded saying he thinks it's around the 20s, 30s. So I'm a little bit sort of enticed and considering whether to open it or not, but not now. Now, 40th anniversary is, you know, that's one of the tobaccos which I've been raving on about with a filter. So without a filter, it should blow my mind, but it may also bite the hell out of me. So let's see. Got some of the bits at the bottom, might as well use them up. Chris, have you tried the 40th anniversary that I sent you? Gentlemen, ladies, if there are any, say hello, say hi, introduce yourselves. I can see that there's 10 people watching. Oh, Josh is on. Taking Mrs. Grump out. That's very nice. Good luck to her. Happy for her. Open that half and half. Hey, Matches. A real honour. Thank you for joining. I will probably do that, John. I will probably do that on another Saturday night, which is my normal live stream evening. Central Park Piper, how you doing? London Life. Ah, Alethea. Living on the wild side, absolutely. It's very rare of you to join us. I wouldn't have known that it's you, Alethea. It's only because of that time you said that you saw me in Cigars and Snuff in Covent Gardens. Remember that, the first time-ish that we met or saw each other? Or you saw me? That's going back a couple of years now. Yeah, of course, living on the live stream. Got to live on the where it's at. Got to be where the action is, right? See you, Josh. Regards to Mrs. Grump. You treat her right now. Alright, let's see if we get bitten. Well, for a start, before I even... cheers, Josh. Before I even light it, the draw is so much different. I haven't smoked a non-filtered pipe for, what, 3 months? Something like that. And straight away, there's a big difference there. I have to readjust how I pack the pipe. And I'm sure I'll have to adjust my cadence as well. The problem is that lighting the pipe. Michael, how are you? Missed you last night. Lighting the pipe, you do need to give it a little bit of a fair old toke to get it lit. So that sometimes I get burnt straight away if I'm lighting without a filter. So just have to take it slow. Let's get some air in here. Right, I'm going to have to tamp it down pretty firmly because the drawer is too open. Matches, if you're still on, do you strictly stick to Burley's, or are you all over the place? Have you tried any of the McLennan Virginia stuff, the recent stuff, 40th anniversary? Yes, I did watch Lac's video, Chris. Hilarious video, I commented on it. To me, he looks like John Cleese. His mannerisms, he actually looks a bit like John Cleese as well. Tall, lanky guy. But he's a natural in front of the camera, I tell you what. Can't believe he hasn't done videos till now. Well, I'm smoking this, I've got to say that I prefer it with a filter. So far anyway, I've only just started it, so it's a little bit premature, but I don't remember what I smoked in this previously. I've got a feeling it was vapors, but it's not tasting as good. Yeah, we almost went for the record. Apparently, somebody said, I think Tree said it was about 4 hours, the longest one. Well, Quaker, I think that's a lot of people have the same issue, myself included. But I decided that it certainly, see, I recently opened up 10 of 16, 17 and 40th anniversary. Now some might say, what's the point in opening 3 Virginias by McLennan? But the truth is, they're all slightly different. And they're going to last as long as opening one, then another, and then another. So it doesn't really make a lot of difference. But when do you expect to enjoy them? If you have them cellared and you don't even have one of them to try, you know, I would certainly crack one open, see if you like it. If you really like it and you want it to last a long time, conserve it. Smoke it sparingly, smoke it on special occasions. That's down to you. I know that, of course, that once you open something, you're tempted to smoke it a lot if you like it, and that's been true with this. And it's been true with this pipe. You know, since I've got it, I've really enjoyed smoking it, and I've smoked a good amount. I think I've smoked it 6 or 7 times since I got it on Tuesday, which for me is a lot for one pipe. On average, I might smoke the same pipe twice in 1 week, maximum. Michael, what planet are you on? I know you're a cigar man, Michael, so I can't... I'm not surprised, but yeah. They closed their doors about a month ago. I think there is a bit of a tinge on there. I think that when I got it, it wasn't pure white, the Meerschaum, but I think there is some coloration on it. You can definitely see. I mean, that may well be my hands on there. You know, I presume it's got a beeswax or some kind of coating on there to protect it, but you can definitely see some gradient in colouring there. There's a darkening around there and there, around there, and that's just lighting, charring or whatever, but you can definitely see some yellowing of the bowl. I've got to say that this Meerschaum has really has taken me by surprise. It really has. I don't know if any of you guys are sort of majorly into Meerschaums, but this one, which I got recently, it just didn't do it for me. I don't know if it makes a difference that it's enrobed with briar or not, but it didn't do it for me. Joe is... I think I made a little bit of a mistake by not cleaning this out. I should have given it a good alcohol swab, because it's been in my drawer for a while, awaiting conversion to 9mm, and perhaps there's just some dust in there, some old flavours and stuff which maybe have gone a bit rancid. I don't know. But it's certainly not biting the hell out of me, not yet anyway. Good for you, Joe. I see he hasn't been tempted to join you on any of your videos yet. Drinking some water today. Too much coffee imbibed over the weekend. Just need to get rid of some of those toxins. Flush the system a little bit. Cheers, Alethea. Thanks for joining, and good luck with work. I hope you don't get too many customers. Tim is in the house. How are you doing, Tim? Considering we were all up till the wee hours, we're all pretty perky. Well, I didn't get to sleep much before 4 AM, and I was already up at 8 o'clock. My household is a busy household, so I don't get such luxuries as sleep. Camera shy, is he, Joe? I've tried to sort of see if I have a preference for which 9mm, but I don't. I've got at the moment some old Jean-Claude. I think these are either ceramic or Meerschaum on the ends. And I've got some Dr. Pearl Juniors, and there's some Petersons somewhere. But the only reason why I have a preference on these old ones, I got these in the Emirati sale, and the only reason why I have a preference on these, but I've virtually finished them now. There's only literally maybe half a dozen filters left. As I've shown you in the past, is that I spread the tip of these. One side is always a little bit longer, and I spread the tip, and that creates a better seal on the inside of the stem, and that it basically forces more of the vapor, the steam, the smoke rather, to go into the filter than it would otherwise. But I don't really have a much of a preference. People talk about a more open draw or a tighter draw on some of them, but I don't really notice a significant difference personally, to be honest. Having said that, I haven't been smoking them for 10 years with a filter. I've been smoking them for a few months, so my opinion is very much a young one. Well, what I would say so far in terms of smoking without a filter, it's not biting the heck out of me. I am smoking it slowly. You can see I've put it down a couple of times already. Excuse me. But I am finding that the smoke is quite warm, so it definitely cools it using a filter. It could also be the fact that this seems to be very wide open, the draw. Maybe I need to pack it a bit tighter and slow down the combustion maybe. And I'm really going to an extreme here, because I used to smoke without filter. I used to smoke some aromatics and certainly plenty English stroke Balkan blends without much of a problem. Occasionally I'd get bitten if it was a Virginia heavy, maybe something like Special Latakia Flake, that kind of idea. But with Virginias, I always got a bit with Virginias, always. So I'm really going to extreme by jumping straight in without a filter again. But it's not biting at this stage. It probably would if I sped things up, but it's just not enjoyable because it's warm. The smoke is warm. So maybe I need to try on other pipes and see if it makes a difference. Maybe just use one of my filtered pipes without a filter. That's actually not a bad idea. I'm just going to put the remnants, the crumbs that are left on a tray, and put them in my Bentley, because this is a pipe which I really do enjoy smoking, and I'm just doing this for the experiment, so I'm kind of dumping that bowl. It's not enjoyable as it is. I don't know if there was some odd sort of off flavours in that bowl or not, so I'm not going to feel too guilty about that. Thank you very much, Pipes and Spirits. Hey Paul, how you doing? Quaker, do you use filters for every tobacco you smoke? I had a bowl of London mixture yesterday and it tasted like nothing until I threw the filter away. You know what I say? Horses for courses. We all have our own preferences. You just got to suck it and see. That's the bottom line. You just got to try it and see what works for you. You know, people, you can get general advice from people, but at the end of the day, you've got to make up your own mind. So I've taken the filter out of that one. I do have an adapter somewhere. That's what they say about a lot of things, Pipes and Spirits. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Cheers, tree. That's cheered me right up. Because I did want to go, but the wife put the kibosh on it, as I mentioned. Kids are all running around outside, so I may get a knock on the door, and I might have to cut short. We'll see how we go. Sunday afternoon is a risky time to be doing live videos. This Colibri lighter was a very reliable lighter, but for some reason now it only works if I hold it upright. If I'm doing it over the pipe like that, it's not happy. It works like that, but no, that time it did, but a lot of the times it doesn't. Maybe I've got air in there, possibly. I've also come on now because I realised that I've got a job this evening and I'd completely forgotten about it. Looked at my diary and whammo, there's a job that I've got at 6 o'clock tonight. Another sort of byproduct of using a filter is that you don't get a mouthful of rubbish. I don't use the mesh guards. Maybe I should, at the bottom of the bowl, or the stones, possibly. Some people really swear by the Nording stones, the keystones. Maybe I should try that. But to be honest, filters is working for me, so filters are working for me. I haven't tried that Java yet. That's an aromatic, isn't it? From Just For Him. Right guys, this was just a little quickie. I just wanted to give that a try. It's okay, but I must say that... oh right, was that... We talked about the British version of House of Cards. Did you watch the American version as well? I'm in two minds whether you should watch the American one first or the English one, but really you do have to watch the English one first. It would be silly not to. It was made long ago, and you can see on what the concept of the American one is based. I've sent a huge amount of tobacco to America without any problems at all. The only time I had a problem was I once sent a package to Caden. What is I can't remember his handle now. He hangs around with the Dagners a lot. Hey, Gently Tapped. I sent him a box with a lot of goodies in there, but I made a mistake and I included a lighter in there. It was a nice it was a nice Zippo, and it had a pipe logo on it. It was a nice little item anyway. And it got pinched by customs, presumably because of the lighter. So that was very sad. But other than that, and that was a couple of years ago, but other than that, I don't send lighters anymore. Dead Sexy Piper won one of my giveaways, and originally I'd put a lighter to be in there, but I decided not to send it, not to risk the whole package, so I sent him extra tobacco. But I think that's the only package that's ever been stopped. Over the last couple of years, I've probably sent, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 packages without any problems. Nice one, Red Elric. I was going to send you one as well. But you can send other stuff, no problem. Where are you based, Red Elric? Well, I've got to say, I prefer 40th anniversary with a filter. I had this discussion the other day with somebody about, see, filtering, in my limited experience, doesn't just cut the breadth of the flavors by whatever percentage it does. I find that it seems to just, it kind of, it just refines it. You know, it just makes it purer. It kind of separates the individual flavors, and it takes the, if you imagine, if you have, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but if you have a power cable, a 3-core twin and earth, you have a 3-core power cable, and each one is sheathed with a nylon sheath. And when you hold that cord, so you've got your cord, 3 cables in there, you've got this whole big sort of bundle of cables, and you can't get at it, and it's kind of, you can't see the individual strands because they're wrapped in there. Once you trim this off, you open it out, and you can take each individual one out, you can make up the composition of the cable. And that's how I feel is the effect of a 9mm carbon filter. It strips away the outer clothing, and it just gives you the pure tobacco. And for me, it just gives me a pure experience. That's what's happened with that one Meerschaum pipe, which was the Pipe Club of London club pipe. I haven't had that experience with other Meerschaums. I've had, as I say, the Rattray's Meerschaum lined pipe, which didn't do it for me. And I've had a small Meerschaum pipe, I think it was an Alternate, but it also didn't do it for me really. Having said that, it didn't have a filter option, whereas this one does. Oh, right. Yeah, well, I'll definitely say don't send one. Honestly, you're better off buying it there and sending it to the, locally, if it's a lighter that you want to get. A lot of the decent retailers will do that, no problem. For Noggins, I've sent stuff locally in America too. Ordered stuff on Four Noggin and given a separate address for delivery. The same with Boswell's. I've gifted stuff to people by just ordering on Boswell's and having a different address. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. I'm sure tobacco pipes or pipes and cigars would do the same. Well, it's I wouldn't say it's biting me. There's certainly a bit of a twinge on my tongue, but it's not biting me. But I'm not a sadomasochist, and I don't see the point in inflicting discomfort on my tongue. So for me, I shall be continuing using a filter for now. And as Matches would say, we're approaching the half-hour mark. This was supposed to be just a 5-10 minute live, just a little impromptu smoke of a pipe without a filter, but we're at half an hour, so I'm going to call it a day. Maybe I'll catch up with you tonight after I've finished work. We'll see how we go. So in the meantime, I'll wish you all well. Thank you all for joining. Snakes in the Road. Hello, how are you? Oh, I want to watch Dunkirk. I haven't seen that yet. His performance is supposed to be amazing, riveting. Cheers, Michael. Cheers, Matches, if you're still on. Gently Tamped. Red Elric. Paul. Central Park Piper. Tree, as always. Pipes and Spirits. Quaker Piper. And everybody, thank you very, very much for joining once again. And I will catch you on the next one.